ever did?
No, the first one you want to start with today.
Shannon Sharp. All right, Shannon, I'm going to ask you a couple questions. Here we go. I'm going to ask you a question. So, I'm going to say, so what was your favorite sport growing up as a kid?
My favorite sport growing up as a kid. Probably. I like football. Football, then basketball.
Basketball. Did you ever play baseball?
Nah, I was scared of the ball.
So how good were you in basketball? Could you dunk?
I could. I was better in basketball than I was football.
Oh, okay. So did you play in high school? Did you start in grade school? What did you start in?
I played coming up. I mean, obviously, you did all the sports. You played football, ran track, played basketball. And so I played all the way through. Started playing, I was probably about 4th or 5th grade and played all the way through high school. With them.
Okay. What was your favorite event in track and field? Were you fast?
I ran on the relay teams. I really didn't do a whole lot of individual sprints. I was a field event guy, so I long jump, triple jump through the disc. But I was on the 4x1 and the 4x4.
I was on the 4x1. Okay, I was the first leg. First leg. And like my grandmother said, if you ain't a frog, you better jump in the pond. You know? I know that don't mean shit. That don't mean nothing. That will never make no sense. But all the things... People are afraid to agree with me because I'm a big motherfucker and I beat your ass. But anyway.
So let me ask you a question. How did you stumble upon like, you know what? I can do him. How long did you have to practice and how many did you play it back like, okay, make sure I get the voice in play? Because you have the mannerisms.
Yeah, I was watching you, on FS1 and I was like, I think I could do him. I just was like, Skip. And then Skip helped me.
Yeah.
Skip. Hey, Skip. Listen, Skip, I'm going to tell you this, right? I've been in the NFL for a long time. Right? And I used to, I never had a toilet. I had a doo-doo outside in the backyard. Hey, Skip, I'm going to tell you that right now. No, let's go. But I'm going to tell you now, how the hell are you going to tell me that the East is going to beat the West? Come on, Skip. Come on. Tell me. It's like with a lot of impersonators.
Right.
You got Pharaoh, you got Ari Spears, and you hear it, and if it's in your range, it's a natural gift. It's like when musicians can just go, all right, let me just play. They can play something and tune. It's like when they tune it with a piano or a horn.
Right.
It's the same shit. Like one of my first impersonations was Ali.
Okay.
When I was like 5.
Okay.
Because my relatives come from Nigeria.
Okay.
And they would say, do Muhammad Ali. We'll give you $1. I'd be like, I'm fast, I'm pretty, I shook up the world. I'm the greatest. I told you Howard Cosell, you too ugly. Joe Frazier's too ugly. Ken Norton's too ugly. George Foreman's too ugly. I'm fast, I must be the greatest. I used to do that at 5.
Right.
And so I was like, okay, I could do voices. And so I would, cartoon characters. And what's up, Doc? I would do that.
Right.
So I was just always into imitating people. And then when I started comedy, it was like my first time I was in a comedy team for a year.
Okay.
All right. And this is Chicago. I'm from Chicago. Shout out to all the Chicago comedians.
Because I heard they say Chicago got the best comedians. That's what Lil Rel told me about.
Lil Rel might be right on that one because Chicago.
What about the DMV? They got Quake and Mark.
Listen, man, I ain't from the DMV. So fuck all that. I said it. I said Chicago got the best. You got me, you got Deion Cole, you got D. Ray Davis, you got Lil Rel, Bernie Mac. Shout out to Bernie Mac.
Rest his soul.
And there's other cats. My man Evan Lionel, who literally started Bernie Mac in his career, who literally started comedy for black comics in Chicago. Evan Lionel, gotta give him his credit. But there's a lot of great comics from Chicago. You got Adele Gibbons.
Yes.
Yeah. Adele Gibbons. You got from The Talk.
Cheryl
Underwood is from Chicago. We got a lot of great and a lot of younger people coming up. But yeah, we're all at Craig Robinson.
Right. Okay.
Craig Robinson from Chicago. So you have a lot. It's something about Chicago. We're all different. Mm-hmm. We're all different styles. Everybody says none of you are the same. I said there's something about Chicago. But I started out in a comedy team.
Right.
And a team with another guy was Godfrey and Alexander. And my first time on stage, it was impersonations. It was a duo thing, so he played like a hypnotist, and it was some corny shit, but he would hypnotize me and shit. He's like, oh, I'm a hypnotist. I'm going to make you do different people. So my first was Bill Cosby.
Okay.
And I know now Cosby is kind of taboo, but fuck it, let's go for it. So I'd be like, you see, the people, and you got to understand,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? And so I did Cosby, then I did Johnny Carson.
Okay.
Because I said, nobody's seen a black dude do Johnny Carson, so I
Correct.
would go, wow, good stuff. I did not know that.
Right.
Wow, Shannon, this is a great show. Wow, bomb. I would do that. So it was Ali. Those were my first impersonations, but I didn't dwell on impersonations because if you depend on the impersonations, your act gets corny.
Right.
So, and I made sure when I was doing comedy in Chicago, I did it for about 3 years, and I went solo. And you know what's so funny? The person who told me to leave my comedy team was Steve Harvey.
The guy. Yep. So was that before he told? Were you impersonating him before or after he told?
I was impersonating Steve only like 3-4 years ago.
Okay.
I never impersonated him. I wasn't interested, but he told me, because one day there was a club called All Jokes Aside in Chicago.
Okay.
It was the #1 black comedy club for 7 years. Shout out to Raymond Lambert, Mary Lindsay, and James Alexander. It was the #1 club in Chicago. Because a lot of times when you would do black urban rooms, it would be a black night at a white establishment. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, but Chicago was a black comedy club in the 90s that was open 7 days a week. All right. And so from there, I went solo. I broke up with the guy that I was with. I wanted to go solo. So
How difficult was that? Because I'm sure you guys had been together for what, 3, 4, 5 years?
About 2 years.
About 2 years,
About 2 strong years, and I was like, I was a little, because I don't think he was as passionate as I was in it. I was writing most of the sketches, and then I was like, you know what? I think I'm gonna go solo. So I started writing shit on the side, like just in case this doesn't go well, I'm gonna do shit on my own.
Right.
So I started writing stuff on my own, and it was kind of easy to keep it moving. Because you know what I'm saying? I just started doing shit on my own. I didn't even really tell him. I just started going on my own. And then from there, I ran into TK Kirkland. Okay. Now, people, if you know TK Kirkland, T to the motherfucking K. I ran into him because I would do shows with him at this club, All Jokes Aside. And then TK said, Godfrey, man, I need to take you to New York City. He's like, I like your style. You kind of corny, but you know what? I like you, and I'm going to find you a manager. So he found me, and this is facts. He found me my first manager.
Right.
And, remember Anthony Michael Hall? Remember Breakfast Club, the movie Breakfast Club, or 16 Candles?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, with Molly Ringwald.
The little Molly Ringwald with the little blonde kid. Mm-hmm. His dad was my manager.
Okay.
Tom Chistaro. They've passed him and his partner, David Klingman. TK hooked us all up. It was me, Mike Epps. It was like John Leguizamo. It was, it was Sandra Bullock. And this is me moving to New York City. I packed up, drove 20 hours. You know what I'm saying? I said, it's time. I got my agent. Mm-hmm. This is all from TK doing it.
Right.
TK, at the time, criminal shit.
Right.
Taking people's credit cards, getting arrested shit. This man found me my agency.
Right.
So as soon as I got to New York City on my own, I started doing the New York circuit. That's when I I would meet like Tracy Morgan and all these, like Chappelle, everybody. I was meeting all kinds of people. And that was when, I said, yeah, I'm going to start doing this on my own. When I drove 20 hours in a U-Haul truck.
Right.
20 hours with my friend Bernadette, who was in Love Jones. We drove 20 hours. Wow. And then from there, that was when I started to, and my manager at the time said, you can do a lot of voices, but don't count on that. Don't make that your thing.
Okay.
Build on your comedy, build on your jokes and your material. And I said, okay, I'm gonna do that. So the voice thing now, people didn't even know I did all these voices until the pandemic.
Wow.
Nobody knew because I've auditioned for different like sketch comedy shows. Living Color, didn't get that shit. SNL rejected me 3 times. 3 times. I auditioned for SNL in, was it 98, 99?
Right.
It was me, Tracy Morgan, Jimmy Fallon, Kevin James, a lot of motherfuckers. I got a standing ovation that night because I did Cosby, I did Johnny Carson, I don't even remember the other people I did, but I did a bunch of them, did a bunch of characters, and I didn't even get to the second round. Wow. Didn't even make it to the second round. And as a young comic, I'm only 3 years in, I'm auditioning for SNL.
Right.
Eddie Murphy is my superhero? Eddie Murphy? Like, I might be able to do what Eddie Murphy did? Because I saw Eddie Murphy in college.
Right, okay.
When he was doing the Raw tour.
Yes.
He came by our school, and I was like, shit. I was like, damn. And I have to give Tommy Davidson credit from the DMV. He came and performed in my college. He was one of the main guys that really influenced me to do comedy, because in college is when I wanted to do comedy. I was like, yeah. My third year, I was like, I think I want to do comedy. I was a pre-med psych major, you know, and I was like, yeah, it was Tommy Davidson, because Tommy Davidson, I showed him around the campus. He came to my campus, I showed him around. And then some years later, when I got to New York, doing comedy in New York, I did this show called Premium Blend. Premium Blend is on Comedy Central. That was when Comedy Central was funny.
Right. Oh.
I know. That's when it was live.
That was a sneak diss.
That's when But Comedy Central was dope, you know, and so Premium Blend is like you get up there and you do like 7 minutes. So this was exciting for me. I've never done TV comedy on TV. And what's funny, as things go round and round, Tommy Davidson was the host of that show I was on. Wow. And he remembered me. He said, "You dude that showed me around your campus." I was like, "Yo, you're one of the main reasons I wanted to do comedy."
Right.
So it was Tommy Davidson. Let me get some of this cognac. Ooh, boy, Shaddy, boy, you made you tough, man. Ah, that cognac good, boy. I'm gonna tell you right now, that cognac good. Like my grandmama said, if you ain't gonna drink cognac, better get that Hennessy. It's right next door to Sesame Street.
Okay.
You remember that famous song? Can you tell me how to get?
Yes.
How to get to Sesame Street. Just to see Shannon Sharp know Sesame Street.
I
great,
do.
Right? You would think a big
Everybody
guy
grew
like
up
him.
on Sesame
Street.
Street.
Of course. I can just see you singing, "Can you tell me how to get to Sesame Street?"
Come and
Come on, sing it. I want to see a big dude singing.
come and play.
Everything's A-okay. I love Sesame Street, man. I'm gonna tell you this right now. Sesame Street's my favorite. My grandmother said, what she say? If you don't know how to get to Sesame Street, I'm gonna show your ass. I've been to a lot of countries. You've been to a lot of countries. I've been to a lot.
I've been to a lot of countries.
You haven't been to a lot of countries? You're so Southern. Yeah. He's like, I mean, I'll go.
I've been to a lot of states.
A lot of states. God damn. I mean, I go fishing over there. Yeah. So damn. And out here, my RV. Out there.
Yeah.
Like my grandma said, man, if you ain't got nothing to do, stay where you at.
I just want you to know right now, before you go any further, I'm gonna side with Tip. I just figured I was doing so. Whatever you say, I'm
You're
Team
an
Tip.
asshole, man.
Just so we clear, I don't want no bits.
It's like this. He from the South. I'm from the South. I don't give a damn.
Yep.
Like my grandmother said. If it's two frogs on the pond, we gonna sit up there on each other. What? My parents would use broken English, pidgin English, and my sister knew when they were speaking straight Igbo because she was born there. She
Pigeon English. I don't know, but I know pigeon toad.
Pigeon toad. I know about pigeon toad, but
I know about
stool pigeon.
Yeah.
I know about pigeon toad.
Want to join Club Shay Shay? Become an official member by hitting that subscribe button, where you never know who's going to be joining us for drinks and conversation. Don't be late to the party, because you know we
Hey everybody, this is your president. You know what it's going to be. I'm going to be your president. You know what it is. 2024, your president. But enough about me, enough about me. Did you see